Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the very thing that makes you unique, your intelligence, is also the root of your deepest suffering. What if being highly intelligent didn't make life easier, but actually made it harder? What if the more you understood, the lonelier and more dissatisfied you became? Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the most misunderstood philosophers in history, believed exactly that. His work reveals a shocking truth. Intelligence isn't always a blessing. In fact, it might be a curse. In this video, we're going to break down Schopenhauer's warning about the hidden downside of intelligence. Why do highly intelligent people struggle with happiness? How does knowledge make life more painful? And most importantly, how can you use this knowledge to free yourself from unnecessary suffering? Let's dive in. Arthur Schopenhauer was a 19th century German philosopher known for his pessimistic view of life. While other thinkers focused on progress, reason, or the meaning of existence, Schopenhauer had one key belief: life is full of suffering, and intelligence only makes it worse. Unlike many philosophers who lived in intellectual circles, Schopenhauer spent most of his life in isolation, frustrated by a world that didn't understand him. He had a love-hate relationship with humanity, fascinated by human nature, but also deeply disappointed by it. He believed that intelligence is a double-edged sword. The smarter you are, the more clearly you see life's flaws, and the harder it is to find true happiness. We often think of intelligence as a gift, a tool that helps us solve problems, achieve success, and understand the world. But Schopenhauer warned that intelligence is also a burden, one that can make life harder, lonelier, and even more painful. Why? Because the more we understand, the more we suffer. Let's break it down. 1. Seeing the world for what it really is, the illusion of happiness. Most people can go through life with a simple mindset. Work hard, chase success, follow the rules, and you'll be happy. But highly intelligent people tend to see beyond the surface, questioning everything. They recognize that happiness is temporary. No amount of success, money, or relationships can protect us from suffering. They see that society's rules are often arbitrary, based on illusions rather than truth. They notice how people distract themselves from life's deeper questions with entertainment, routine, or shallow pleasures. This awareness can be isolating. While others find comfort in social norms and simple pleasures, the intelligent mind struggles with a sense of detachment, seeing the world not as it should be, but as it really is. For Schopenhauer, ignorance can be bliss, but intelligence forces us to face reality head-on. The challenge is to find peace despite what we know. 2. The weight of overanalyzing everything when thinking becomes a curse. Intelligent people don't just see reality, they analyze it, constantly. A simple conversation becomes an internal debate about what was really meant. A small mistake turns into an endless replay of what could have been done differently. Every life decision feels like a high-stakes puzzle with no clear answer. This overanalysis can lead to indecision, frustration, and even anxiety. Instead of living in the moment, intelligent people often get stuck in their own heads, unable to act because they're too busy thinking. The mind is a powerful tool, but it should serve action, not replace it. Overthinking leads to paralysis, not progress. 3. The struggle to connect with others, the loneliness of intelligence. Another hidden burden of intelligence? It makes it harder to connect with people. Schopenhauer believed that intelligent people often feel alienated because they think deeply about things that others take for granted. They struggle with small talk, preferring deeper conversations. They find it hard to relate to superficial interests or trends. They feel misunderstood because their thoughts and concerns seem irrelevant to most people. This can create a sense of loneliness, even in a crowded room. While others bond over everyday life, the intelligent mind is somewhere else, lost in thought. Schopenhauer believed that true connection comes not from intelligence, but from shared values and mutual understanding. It's better to have a few deep connections than many shallow ones. 4. The burden of expectation, when intelligence feels like a trap. Society expects highly intelligent people to be successful, to figure life out, and to always have the answers. But intelligence doesn't come with an instruction manual for happiness. Smart people don't always know what they want because they see too many possibilities. They can feel trapped by expectations, afraid to fail because others assume they won't. They sometimes resent their own intelligence, wishing they could just live simply without overcomplicating everything. This creates a paradox. Intelligence gives people more tools, but also more doubts. Instead of leading to clarity, it often leads to more questions. Schopenhauer stated that intelligence doesn't guarantee happiness. The key is to stop overvaluing intellect and start prioritizing wisdom, learning when to think and when to simply live. Schopenhauer's warning about intelligence wasn't meant to discourage, it was meant to wake us up. Intelligence can be a burden or a gift, depending on how we use it. The question is, are you letting intelligence trap you in overanalysis and isolation, or are you using it to create a richer, more meaningful life? Schopenhauer believed that the more intelligent a person is, the more likely they are to feel alone. But why? Shouldn't intelligence help us connect, understand others, and navigate social life better? In reality, the opposite often happens. Stay with me because in this next section, we'll explore the hidden reasons on why intelligence can lead to isolation, frustration, the feeling of alienation, and even loneliness, and what can be done about it. 1. Thinking too deeply in a world that prefers simplicity. Most people enjoy the simple things in life, small talk, entertainment, and routines. But highly intelligent people tend to think deeply about everything. Instead of enjoying a movie, they analyze its philosophical themes. Instead of following trends, they wonder why people conform in the first place. Instead of just going with the flow, they question everything, from social norms to the meaning of life. This creates a gap. While others are happy discussing sports, gossip, or social media trends, the intelligent person craves deeper conversations. People who think differently often feel disconnected. But this doesn't mean they're superior. It just means they need to find the right people who appreciate depth. 2. The curse of awareness. Seeing the flaws in everything. With intelligence comes awareness, and awareness can be painful. Intelligent people see injustice where others see just the way things are. They notice hypocrisy in social structures, governments, and even personal relationships. They recognize that many of life's biggest rewards, money, status, fame, are often meaningless in the grand scheme of things. This can create frustration. While others seem content with playing the game, intelligent people feel trapped in a world that values illusion over truth. Schopenhauer thought that seeing the world clearly is a double-edged sword. It can lead to frustration, but it also provides a chance to rise above illusion and live authentically. 3. Overthinking social interactions. Another reason intelligent people feel alienated, they overanalyze social interactions. Instead of enjoying a conversation, they're thinking about what was really meant. Instead of acting naturally, they're stuck in their heads, trying to predict how others will react. Instead of just laughing at a joke, they're thinking about its deeper implications. This makes socializing exhausting. Where others act on instinct, intelligent people often feel like they have to calculate every move. Over time, this can make them withdraw from social life altogether. Schopenhauer learned that not every interaction needs deep analysis. Sometimes, the key to connection is letting go of the need to intellectualize everything. 4. The struggle to find like-minded people. Most people form friendships based on shared interests and experiences. But for intelligent people, those connections are harder to find. They don't fit into mainstream social circles. They struggle to find people who understand their thoughts and concerns. They often feel like they're speaking a different language from those around them. As a result, many highly intelligent people prefer solitude, not because they dislike people, but because they'd rather be alone than feel misunderstood. True connection isn't about finding a crowd, it's about finding a few people who truly understand you. 5. The pressure to fit in versus the desire to be authentic. Intelligent people often feel trapped between two opposing forces: the pressure to fit in, to engage in normal social activities, to laugh at things they don't find funny, to pretend they care about things they don't. They desire to be authentic, to live in a way that aligns with their real values and interests. This conflict creates exhaustion. Trying to dumb down thoughts to fit in feels fake, but standing out too much can lead to isolation. Schopenhauer realized that the key is balance. There's a time to blend in and a time to stand out. The trick is to know when each is necessary. Intelligence can feel like a lonely road, but it doesn't have to be. The alienation that many intelligent people feel isn't a sign that something is wrong with them. It's just a sign that they see the world differently. The real challenge is accepting this reality while still finding ways to connect, whether through shared passions, intellectual conversations, or simply learning to enjoy the moment without overanalyzing everything. The good news? There's always a way forward. And Schopenhauer's wisdom reminds us that understanding ourselves is the first step toward finding our place in the world. Next, we'll discuss Schopenhauer's thoughts on the curse of overthinking. Schopenhauer believed that intelligence was a double-edged sword. While it allows us to see deeper into reality, it also traps us in endless loops of overthinking, a curse that can rob us of peace, joy, and even the ability to take action. But why does intelligence lead to overthinking, and how can we break free from it? Let's break it down. 1. Seeing too many possibilities, the paralysis by analysis. Highly intelligent people tend to see life from multiple angles. Every decision, every thought, every event unfolds into countless possibilities. The problem? Too many options lead to indecision. Should I take this job or wait for something better? What if I make the wrong choice in my relationship? What's the meaning of life, and am I living it correctly? Overthinking creates a cycle of doubt and hesitation. Instead of moving forward, we get stuck analyzing every possible outcome, fearing regret or failure. Schopenhauer encouraged the acceptance of the concept that life is uncertain and that the key is not to find the perfect answer, but to act despite uncertainty. 2. The burden of self-awareness, the curse of knowing too much. Most people can go through life without questioning everything. But intelligence makes us deeply aware of our own flaws, the flaws of others, and the absurdity of life itself. We see how temporary everything is, making it hard to enjoy the present. We recognize our own irrational behaviors, but struggle to change them. We analyze relationships too much, often seeing problems before they even exist. This level of awareness can feel lonely. We wish we could just live like others seem to do, but our mind won't stop dissecting everything. Schopenhauer found it important to accept that life doesn't need to make sense all the time. Overthinking won't solve the absurdity of existence, but living fully despite it will. 3. The overload of information, when knowledge becomes a trap. In today's world, overthinking is worse than ever. We are constantly bombarded with news, social media, self-improvement advice, and endless choices. Intelligent minds absorb this information like a sponge, but instead of feeling enlightened, they feel overwhelmed. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. Every new idea contradicts an old one, leading to confusion. Instead of acting on knowledge, we endlessly search for more information. This is the trap of intellectual consumption, believing that the next book, the next article, the next video will finally bring clarity. But clarity never comes because overthinking is insatiable. Schopenhauer warned that knowledge should serve action, not replace it. Use what you know instead of endlessly seeking more. 4. The emotional toll when thinking replaces feeling. Schopenhauer argued that the more we overthink, the more disconnected we become from our emotions, intuition, and simple joys. Instead of enjoying the moment, we analyze it. Instead of expressing feelings, we rationalize them. Instead of experiencing life, we observe it from a distance. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, emotional detachment, and even depression. The mind takes over so much that the heart loses its voice. Schopenhauer's advice is that the goal is not to think less, but to think better, to know when to let go of analysis and embrace experience. The curse of overthinking is real. Intelligence, if left unchecked, can become a prison of endless thoughts, doubts, and fears. But Schopenhauer didn't believe we were doomed to suffer. He showed that awareness is power, and by learning when to think and when to let go, we can escape the trap. So the real question is, are you thinking about life, or are you actually living it? Schopenhauer believed that while intelligence can be a burden, it doesn't have to be a prison. Escaping the trap of overthinking, loneliness, and existential frustration requires a shift in mindset and daily practices. So, how do we break free? 1. Embracing practical wisdom. Intelligence can make life feel like a relentless analysis of problems. Schopenhauer himself warned that intellectuals tend to dwell on ideas but struggle with real-world action. The key is balance, learning when to think deeply and when to let go. Instead of endlessly analyzing a problem, set a time limit for contemplation. Shift your focus from abstract worries to practical solutions. Engage in physical activities that pull you out of your head, exercise, art, or manual work. 2. Finding joy in simplicity. Highly intelligent individuals often struggle to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Schopenhauer argued that wisdom lies in accepting life's absurdity rather than trying to intellectualize everything. Practice mindfulness. Focus on the present rather than hypothetical problems. Appreciate small moments, a great meal, a conversation, or nature. Avoid the trap of constant learning. Sometimes, ignorance about trivial matters is a form of freedom. 3. Selective socialization. Schopenhauer's view on solitude was clear. Too much of it can lead to isolation, but the wrong company can be even worse. The solution? Curate your social circle wisely. Seek out those who inspire or challenge you without draining your energy. Reduce time spent with people who diminish your clarity with gossip or trivial concerns. Prioritize deep, meaningful connections over quantity. 4. The art of not caring. One of Schopenhauer's most freeing insights was that you don't need to conform to society's expectations. He argued that much suffering comes from worrying about external validation. Stop seeking approval from people who don't understand your perspective. Accept that not everyone will get you, and that's okay. Recognize that happiness isn't about status, but inner peace. 5. Accepting life's absurdity. Schopenhauer believed that life is inherently filled with suffering and contradiction. The way out? Laugh at the absurdity. Instead of resisting life's imperfections, embrace them. Humor is a secret weapon. When you learn to laugh at life's struggles, you take away their power. Adopt an existential flexibility. Realize that nothing is ever fully under your control, and that's okay. Escaping the trap of intelligence isn't about rejecting knowledge. It's about learning to live wisely. Schopenhauer's warning was never about abandoning thought, but about avoiding self-imposed misery. By balancing deep thinking with action, simplicity, meaningful relationships, and acceptance, intelligence becomes a gift rather than a burden. So, after all this, does intelligence make life harder? In many ways, yes. But it also gives us the ability to understand, to create, and to find deeper meaning in the world. The key is learning how to use intelligence wisely, rather than letting it consume us. Schopenhauer's warning is clear. Knowledge brings awareness, and awareness brings responsibility. If we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by what we see, we will suffer. But if we learn to accept reality, focus our minds, and create meaning, intelligence can become our greatest strength rather than our biggest burden. So the real question isn't whether intelligence is a curse. The question is, how will you use yours? If this video resonated with you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into philosophy, psychology, and the hidden truths of life. We'll see you in the next video.